In the south side of Brooklyn, that's the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Whitehead Brown. He got a custom Continental. He got a Rolls Royce too. He got a 32 gun in his pocket for fun. He got a razor in his shoe. And he's bad. His baddest name is Whitehead Brown, the baddest man in the whole damn town. He badder than a old King Kong and meaner than a junkyard dog. Hey, I'm Princess A, Diva 715. Doretha Ricks, you knew? Hey, Toontown. Afternoon Saints. Baby, we gonna ride this wagon till the wheels fall off. So something else caught my eye about brother Whitehead Brown, better known as Lamar Brown, Lamar Whitehead, right? Okay. This dude said he was talking to Fat Joe. That happened yesterday. He was talking to Fat Joe, and Fat Joe pressed him on this question that people keep asking: was the jury insured, right? And then he says, "Listen, Fat Joe, because you my friend, because I got nothing but love for you, baby, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Only 2 pieces was insured. Okay. Now you have chains around your neck that you're claiming. I guess that in order to be 400,000, they got to be at least $100,000, something like that. You know, those chains, those thick ones they wear, it's all diamonds all around, like a woman. I ain't gonna say like a woman. That's what they wear in these days. But these big old chains and stuff. But you only insured 2 pieces. That includes your wife's wedding ring and whatever she has on, and what you have. You only insured 2 pieces. So that's what I wanted to discuss today. All right. Hi, Nikki with the eye patch blue. Thanks for coming in. The New York Times. I told you, the New York Times did an in-depth article on Bishop Rolex. Oh Lord, have mercy, Mocha Drop. We got to check. I told you when the Times get a hold to it, you're done. You're through. You're gonna have to explain all this shit, right? That's the whole idea behind the church, really. Explain where all this money comes from. Anyway, when a man tells you he only insured 2 pieces, he told Fat Joe that, oh, I got busy, I didn't have time to. You already have jury insured. You just call the people and say, listen, I want to add something else to it. They come in and praise it, and it's insured, right? It wasn't insured. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story from the streets. Some of y'all don't mind stories from the streets. Some of y'all say, oh, he glorifying the streets. He glorifying. No, I'm not glorifying shit. I'm just telling you the truth of my experience, my life experience, right? When you get to be an old man, really, all you have is most of your life is behind you, not in front of you, right? So all you have is your experiences. So back in the street game, I was, I guess you would call it balling. I was doing the best I'd ever done in my life, put it like that. In a not too reputable business. And one of these people came to me. Apparently they had hit some kind of jewelry lick. They had stolen all this jewelry, right? I had plenty of money at the time. And I knew one of these dudes who stolen all this real jewelry, right? And so they came in there and they had this big Cartier watch. Right now, I'm not saying that. Oh, you stole you buying stolen prop. I was a criminal at the time, right? So I didn't care about all that. It was just stolen. Is it real? All this stuff. Anyway, this big Cartier watch, and I wanted it. And I said, "Well, how much for the watch?" Right? Oh, I can't sell you that. I said, "What do you mean? Well, how much you want for it? Shit, you gonna sell it to somebody else, right?" Yeah, but I can't sell you not that piece, right? The dude has acquired all of this real jewelry, but because of the kind of a street person that he was, they had taken this Cartier that I thought was so beautiful was actually a fake Cartier. They had taken fake jewelry, several gold Rolexes and so forth, and they had mixed them in with the good jewelry, right? And you know why they do this? The reason they do this is because people are, when they look at one piece of jewelry, they're going to assume that it's all real, right? So even though they have real product to sell, they mix it in so they can still rip people off in the process. It's still hustling, right? So he wouldn't sell it to me because, of course, I would find out that it was fake, right? This is somebody that I knew. My point is, Bishop Rolex more than likely only insured 2 pieces of jewelry that he was wearing that day because only 2 pieces were real. Y'all think I'm bullshitting, but this is a very common thing in the streets. You mix the good in with the bad to make it all look good. Correct? Because it makes no sense that you have all this shit around your neck and you had not bothered to insure it. But yet you thought to insure the first 2 pieces, right? My guess, the 2 pieces that you insured were the only thing that were real. I don't know if that was a necklace, a ring, or whatever. I saw on, and I'm still convinced that this is the same ring that he's wearing now, which was supposedly stolen. You see, he says very little about these people who have ripped him off, right? If he's a community activist, he should have many contacts in the streets, he says. But he doesn't seem to have much interest in catching these people, correct? Because if I'm a community organizer, and he don't have a church, so I don't know where he would be organizing them from. Pretty quickly, I would know who ripped me off, right? The ring that they showed on Jive Show today, they showed it on, it was being purchased on Amazon, and it was $7,000 some for this bishop's ring. Now, I don't know that a bishop's ring is the same. I mean, do all bishops wear this ring and it's identifiable as a bishop's ring, or are there many different kinds of designs with just a big red stone in it signifying that it's a bishop's ring? I don't know how that works exactly. I would think someone would bestow this on you as opposed to you going to buy one, right? Anyway, he's back going around with this ring again, right? They showed one for $7,000. And then they had one, the identical ring that was a fake ring for $18.99. Correct? The bishop's ring, $7,000 something, and the fake bishop ring, which looked identical for a couple of weeks anyway, is $18.99. So my point is, I think most of that shit that he wears, he flashes around, is fake. Even though he's enjoying, because obviously he's collected all this stuff, he's enjoying showing off and being like, oh, he's talking about he's so rich, I'm so fly, I got all this stuff. But there's a possibility that he is not all that he is presenting, right? They're already calling into question these flashy ass, ugly ass suits. They look like, to me, the Riddler. Y'all see Batman? Y'all remember Batman? Riddler used to wear a green suit, right? And he had little question marks all over the suit. That's what that shit looked like to me. Now, I don't know what's wrong with Gucci or Doki Babagu or whatever the hell I don't know what's wrong with them. They would produce something like that. But because he's wearing all these different kinds of suits and this same fabric is in virtually everything he wears, I think more than likely he just goes down to one of these sweatshops and has these people produce all this shit. He's just buying bulk fabric, in my opinion, in many of those cases. He's probably got some good shoes and some fake shoes, right? Because he's obsessed with labels. If you're going to be buying labels like that, why not just make them yourself? Anyway, that's an observation. But that story is very real. I could not figure out why this man won't sell me the money. I'm sitting here with cash money. I'm ready to buy the damn thing that you're trying to sell. I can't sell you that. I can sell you this. Yeah, because that's real, right? That's my opinion on why you only insure 2 pieces, sir. Perhaps it's just your wife's wedding ring and something else around your neck. Because we all know that if you're going to wear fake costume jewelry, women do it all the time, you know. You can wear costume jewelry for a little while. You can do that. Can't might tell for a little while. And then comes the cloudiness, because just the wearing of it is scratching up the little fake diamonds and so forth. That's why Larry Reed identified that those diamonds seemed cloudy to him. They seem cloudy because probably most of it was fake. It's just junk. The benefit of wearing costume jewelry is you can always wear different stuff, right? Because it don't cost anything. So if you want to wear the bishop ring, you can go in there and order you a half a dozen of them. I mean, order at $20, you can order 20 of them. You can have a whole drawer full of bishop's rings, right? If they're not worth anything, they're not real. I can't think of any other reason why you would have only 2 pieces. That's what you told Fat Joe. See, the more you talk, sir, the more you dig yourself into a ditch, right? And now you got the New York Times doing an in-depth, New York Times don't fuck around. You got a real newspaper now covering this thing and investigating you, sir, all because of your mouth. You cannot, for whatever reason, you cannot seem to shut up. Shut up, honey. Build your popularity the old-fashioned way, right? By being a benefit to people. They want to hear you, be encouraged by you. You're trying to take a shortcut in social media, right? You want to go viral. I'm gonna keep saying it. The title of my new book, the caption I'm using, when going viral means everything. You can't shut up. You talk too much. Now they're going into the actual properties that he says he owns. When I saw the red brick property that he said he owned, he said it was how much is 40-something units. It looked like 1,000 units, really. It looked like a whole neighborhood. I don't know the details of that, but you can rest assured when you get them damn New York Times vultures on your ass, child, they're gonna figure out who actually owns that property, why they own it. Is this a refurbished project? Or what? How in the hell did you come to own this property? That's what they want to know. It looks like somebody had to come in there with $100 million to buy all these damn apartments, right? And why is your number so far off? This apartment building that I live in, it is one city block, right? There are 96 apartments in this one city block, right? But you showed me, or you showed claiming that this is Whitehead Estates. You said there was only 40 units. So what are they, huge 2-story units in there? It appears to be hundreds of apartments there. So they're going to see, Mr. Whitehead, they're going to see there's a possibility that you already know you're going to jail any damn way. So what difference does it make? Right? Let me see what y'all say. This boy is the gift that keeps on giving. But we're going to give it to him. People get tired of talking about him. We'll give him a week or two. He's going into his 2nd week now. So we're hoping that it's not going to climax. See, you build up all of this interest in the case. And then when the Fed come, that's going to be a major story, right? Because you don't build it up, People want to see you go down, right? You going down. They ain't around, baby. Your whole life's upside down. Time on your hand. Cause you going away, boy. And I ain't got no plans. No. See, when you are gone, everybody getting paid is probably, girl. Because they're going to take that shit. Usually the victims only get pennies on the dollar, right? But you ain't did nothing to explain any how you acquired all of this personal stuff, or even these properties that you claim that you own. How does a man coming out of prison go and buy an apartment complex that appears to have hundreds of units in it? It's a whole community. How did you do that, sir? Right? We never get a real answer. You giving classes. You say, I give a class for free. Supposed to be $5,000. Is there a collection? I don't see you as the kind of person that does a lot of shit for free, to tell you the truth. I see you as a person who, for the benefit of your front, you go out and give out a few chickens and turkeys, right? Generally speaking, those things are donated from businesses and whatever. But you give out some turkeys. Didn't Frank Lucas do that in the beginning of American Gangster? I mean, I believe that when the movie with Denzel opened, The American Gangster, wasn't Frank Lucas, wasn't he in a truck passing out turkeys? The biggest heroin dealer in New York. He's going down. Yeah, you have started to offend now. I don't want people to go to jail in general. Hi, people. PH Diva and Mocha Drop. Queen Enchanted. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, they talking about it. Oh, you Mocha Drop, you listening to Thais. You got the Bishop Rolex. But is it a real Rolex? Because when the people were selling me, trying to sell that bullshit jewelry, they had several Rolex watches in there too, which were not real because I couldn't purchase one of those. You can purchase some of the other stuff, right? They couldn't resist the urge, right? When somebody see all them diamonds and things, they're gonna say, "What? It's in the same group, right?" That was part of the scam, honey. So we don't know how much all that stuff costs, y'all. I don't know why somebody like that needs a $40,000 watch. You know, that's the one with all diamonds. I know he pissed off at Larry Reed. He didn't like him saying that them diamonds look a little cloudy, right? Because a diamond, a real diamond, can't get cloudy. It can't get cloudy because it's harder than anything else, right? Isn't it pressed with coal over hundreds or thousands of years or something, girl? So you like to get them from a distance. It looks bling bling from a distance. What is that big horrible golden gaudy thing you hang around your neck? Is that actually real? According to Amazon, you can get all that stuff. Hold on a minute. I'll speak to y'all in 1 second. Let me see one thing. Okay. I'm going to Amazon. I'm going to put Bishop's I misspelled Bishop. Oh, God. Okay. Ring. Bishop's ring. Religious ring. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. So now I can't show you. I don't know how to show you the pay. Okay. I see his ring. Here's his ring. The same one he's flashing around. This is the fake one. It costs $18.97. Is a ring that looks identical to the one he has on. There are several other Bishop's rings on here. They got one for $129. Purple amethyst. I think that purple is the religious color, and a bishop's ring is generally the red stone, right? They got it for $99.99. They ain't got no real ones. $15.99. Okay. Oh my goodness. $14.99. They got one with a big cross on it with diamonds encrusted and all that. That's $11.99. So what I'm saying is, people, don't assume. Don't assume. When a man tells me, y'all go check it out on your own. When a man tells me he's wearing all his jewelry, he's claiming it's worth $400,000, 400 to $1 million, right? He enjoys you saying it's worth $1 million because that's important to him. They say, "Oh, he got $1 million. He got ripped off for $1 million with jewelry." What is the million was from the press, right? It started off at $400,000, right? But more than likely, you insure 2 pieces because only 2 pieces are real. That's just junk. You mix it in, baby. Same thing in interior design. It's the same thing, baby. Y'all see that man up there I'm pointing to? He is solid marble, right? And then this one over here, he is plaster. But if you have a bunch of you have marble ones, marble over here, then you can mix in things that are not that one over there. That's just plaster with a nice finish on it, right? It's the same principle. You mix it in, baby. No, I am Mrs. Ricks. You pronounce my name correct. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. Oops, what's wrong? You're on the wrong page, girl. What's Dorothea Ricks? Your name is I am Mrs. Ricks, not Miss. I gave that up a long time ago. Okay. The New York Times did this in depth. Yeah, I saw Wally trying to read that. Apparently, it's a really long article, but those are really the best of the best as far as reporters go, right? When they start digging, they have private investigators and all this kind of stuff, right? He's got a lot of Lucy. You got a lot of explaining to do. I think that, but they are going to discover though that most of this bling bling is not real. It's just stuff that he's doing because he has too many Gucci things, right? He got head to toe suits, hats, gloves, purses, all this stuff, all with the exact. Why would you want these gray big old Gucci letters? Somebody else's sign all over all your clothes, right? But if you're buying bulks of fabric, you can tell them to make anything. I need 3 shirts, 3 pair of pants. Okay, give me some Gucci this and Gucci belts. And you can make anything, right? That's what they do with the swap meet. They can make anything up in Gucci. And then you just wear one good piece. You insure your jewelry when you purchase it. That didn't make sense what he said, right? That's what I assume, girl. If I'm gonna go out there and write you a check for $50, $60, $100,000, I would assume that it would be insured. It would be taken care of right there. Certainly, you would arrange that with your insurance agent. I'm adding a new piece. Oh, I didn't feel like it, he said. Oh, I just couldn't get around to it. What do you mean you can get around to it, nigga? You said it's worth $100,000, child. They're going to start looking into them cars or the names on them deeds. They're going to check out. Everything's going to be checked out, brother. And you've done it to yourself. You were just too loud. We love the street stories. There's a lot of things to be learned out there in them streets, ain't it? This too much. You agree? Okay. He would not specify how he became a bishop. He would not specify how he became a bishop when he talked with Job. I saw some ceremony. Anybody can make a ceremony, honey. I don't know who this pastor is. Apparently, Josh knows who he is. But they made him a bishop and his wife a bishop at the same time. So I guess she's just an add-on bishop plus one. They had the big things on and all this kind of stuff, right? But in my understanding, a bishop is in charge of several churches. They're like a regional manager, right? How can you be a bishop when you don't even have a church? It's associated with having a church, having a following, and having other churches who report to you in your denomination, right? I don't even know is he a Baptist? Is he a Methodist? What is he? It's all fake and phony. And we don't know what's going on with that marriage, but I don't know why your wife seems to be separating herself. Hi, P. Reed. Thank you for super chat. Did you read the New York Times article? Oh, I got to read that then. It is so shady. Does the New York Times make you, I'm not signing up for nothing else. Do they make you sign up for the subscription to join? Let me see. Some of them newspapers, you got to sign up for a subscription or you can't read the article. New York Times. Yes, I type with one finger. New York Times. And then we're going to put Bishop Whitehead. It just pains me to call that child a bishop. Bishop Whitehead. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay. Whitehead reenacts heist. I see. Okay. Identity theft, fraud, prison, the wildlife. That's what we're talking about? Okay. I can't. I'm not going to be able to read it. Oh, my goodness. They got a picture of him in thrones. Him sitting on a throne with an extra throne for his wife. Lord have mercy. Okay. Dare I try to read this out loud? I'm terrible at okay. Inside his church in Brooklyn, seated in a chair that looked more like a throne and dressed in slim cut banana yellow suit by Gucci, Pastor Lamar Whitehead prepared to deliver the sermon. So his followers had been waiting all week to hear. It had been 7 days since the obscure little congregation. Goddamn. Ooh, honey. This writer's name is Michael Wilson, in case y'all want to know. Okay. It had been 7 days since the obscure little congregation leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries was robbed by 3 armed and masked men during a service on July 24th. The heist caught on a live stream video. Okay. The robbers relieved Bishop Whitehead and his wife of many chains, rings, watches, and other jewelry, the total value of which is in dispute, but is estimated to be as high as $1 million. Now, I think the media came up with that number. The original number was 400,000. I don't know how he calculated it so quickly, and escaped outside on Ramsden Avenue. Bishop Whitehead rose. The devil didn't want. Wait a minute. They're being shady. Okay. Oh, they got him laying on the ground. Lord have mercy. They got him reenacting, child. He's milking this for everything he can get from it. He's dressed in a Gucci suit, Gucci shoes, Gucci glasses. He got that goddamn ring on, the same square ring that he's wearing right now, where he said they stole. So if you can go and order them for $18.99, I guess you could order another one. Anyway, Bishop Whitehead rose. The devil didn't want me back in this pulpit. Are you sure God didn't want you back in that pulpit? He said solemnly, God said, you can't take his life. You can touch his material things, but you can't touch his soul. Nigga, you want them jewels. And you don't want them to get caught. You don't want to be exposed. This is just a bunch of junk. I'm sure them robbers, when they actually took a look at that shit, they said, oh man, he got us. Okay. Then he reacted to robbery twice. Climbed down on the ground in his Gucci suit to show him. I was on the ground like this. I'm looking at my child. I'm looking at that cow with the gun to the head. What? I just can't understand. I can't make myself understand why would anybody be putting a gun to a baby's head, right? That is only to intimidate the person you are robbing. You are already being robbed. They're already taking the rings off your finger. They're already taking the necklace off your neck. What would be the point in pointing a gun to a baby's head in the audience, child? And did they situate your face where you can see it? Where you can look at it? Look, they put a gun to her head. He keeps talking about being putting a gun to his head. But he's telling me that's bullshit. Anybody put no gun to nobody's head. Nobody saw it but you, right? It served no purpose. They don't have to intimidate you. You fell to the ground the moment they walked through the door, as if you were expecting them. And some people are saying that the very last thing you said from your mouth before they came in didn't match the rest of the sermon. Like these were key words. Come in now. Anyway, let me try to finish up this. The New York girl data. The New York Times is not feeling you. Oh, see, look at how adept they are. They got the real church now. They got pictures of the oh my goodness. I can't read that. That's too much. Okay. Now they're showing the actual event center. Y'all got to read this article, child. It's just so much. I'm gonna read one more paragraph. I know my reading is horrible. Okay. Let's see where we're going. In the wake of the brazen heist, attention has focused on Bishop Whitehead, a friend of Mayor Eric Adams with a felony identity theft conviction in his past. Why? Some wondered. Would a preacher with a tiny congregation have a small fortune in jewelry on his person? And his immediate reaction during the robbery, as if practice, has led to questions about whether he knew the robbers were coming, a suggestion he dismissed as ludicrous. It's being said because people can't believe that this happened, he said. asked about whether the jewelry was insured, he dismissed the question as legal. Y'all, please read that article. Thank you for telling me, people. Y'all got to read that. It's a long article, child. They didn't got into the details and everything. You can trust the New York Times. They got him laying on the ground. I think a lot of this bling bling is bullshit, though. Honestly, if a person would take an old lady's life savings, they are not above wearing fake jewelry, fake labels, fake everything, right? What if all this shit ain't worth nothing and it's just show, right? Ain't nobody gonna get close enough to you to be looking at your diamonds. Now, unfortunately, Larry Reed, a person who wears diamond jewelry, who collects it himself, did get a good look at it, right? And this is another thing you don't like about Larry Reed. There's no way it could be cloudy if it's real. Even the metal around it, the gold or the platinum, that could get dirty, but them stones, But diamonds are a girl. I can't call them a girl. But diamonds are a man's best friend. A kiss on the hand may be quite sentimental, but diamonds are a boy's best friend. You got quite a story to tell in Sing Sing, bro. Now, Sing Sing is a state. So far, we see that the Fed is interested in you. The snake lizard has way into becoming a bishop. Wait a minute. The snake lizard, it's a snake lizard, his way into become a bishop, right? That people like that, I don't know they even really believe in God. They have a delusion of being spiritual, but do you really believe? Would you really go out there pretending to be a bishop if you really had any respect for God, right? Isn't that just more bling bling, the title? What churches are you over, sir? Right? Which pastors are you mentoring? Anyway, I thought that this story was done, but obviously it's not. It's not. And it's really going to get intense when they bust him. And now he's brought all this attention onto himself. That's probably going to happen a lot faster, a lot sooner than he thought. Right? Those two pieces worth $1 million. He gonna lose his job. What job? Shit, his job is a con man. He said the 2 pieces are worth $1 million. Lord, which pieces were those? Whitehead, show us the 2 pieces of jewelry that you or your wife had on that's worth $1 million. Only 2. All the rest of that shit, you put it all together, that's all worth $50. Right? I didn't know Amazon got all that fake stuff on there, child. But you can wear that for a week before you start going green. You can buy a whole box of them. I didn't see any reaction to them putting no gun in no baby's head. Doesn't make any sense, child. You keep saying the same old talking points. My baby head. You don't give a damn about no baby head. You care about them coming in there and robbing you. And I wish they would stop saying that they robbed the church, because they didn't rob the church. If I'm going to rob a church, I would never do that because I'm not a demon. But if I'm going to rob a church, the first thing I want is the money. Everybody come to church with money, right? They come because they got to have offering time, right? You would at least grab the basket. I'm just saying, jewelry is jewelry, but ain't nothing like that cash. They didn't even touch the cash. They just come and got him and left. Lord. When y'all pull up that New York Times article, you're going to see a picture of the actual building. It's not that white building. Actually, those people could sue him because he keeps presenting this as his church. But the white building, you'll see that building that desperately needs a paint job. It looks like they sell used tires there, but that's somebody else's church, apparently. Somebody else's storefront. but you will see that it has no upstairs. We know that it happened upstairs, right? Right next to the white building is a little slim building. It looks real tiny, right? Just a doorway and excuse me, just a doorway, right? And upstairs is an event center. He has 2 banners and that podium, and he takes them in there on Sunday. Now, I don't know if she probably stores it in the garage section there for various events. His church is an event. That's it. It doesn't exist. Mm. His church looked like a 2-car garage. I think there used to be storefronts, and those when they pull the garages down, that's to cover the windows so the niggas won't break in there, girl. When they pan the block, the block is all industrial. So this is a church that sits among factories, right? Baby, the man has a YouTube channel, let's say, or whatever he uses, Facebook or Instagram, whatever. This is just a front. It's just a background, a background where he comes once a week and puts on his front like he has a church. He buys subscribers. Why do you say he buys subscribers? Because you can't have 1 million or 1.5 million followers and only 25 people show up for your church, right? It doesn't make any sense. You can buy them in bulk. You can buy them in hundreds of thousands. You can buy subscribers. Why are your members in Indonesia? Why are your members in Afghanistan? I'm just saying. And you think that the New York Times is not going to uncover that? Sir, you're being silly. I haven't read all the article yet. I will do it immediately after this. But it's ridiculous to think that they are not going to also investigate all these subscribers you have. They're going to find out what a fake person you are, sir. And then all the properties that you claim that you own. And then you're telling people that you're building a church on another piece of property that's a block long. And then nobody in the church, nobody among the 25 can confirm that they even heard about a church being built before. They never heard about it, child. You go in there and you sucker these people, and you find out some of these old ladies who have money, who have a 401k, who have some connection to some money. You present this thing unless you have a church, and then you take the money and then you go spend it. Right? You can't handle having people's money, right? Maybe you thought you had a legitimate idea at first, but when somebody wrote you a check for $250,000, man, you could not handle that, and you went and spent it. And that's what you've been doing ever since. You've just been spending on buying shit for yourself, right? You are not a steward. God can't bless you with money because you're not a good steward over money, right? All the money that you have raised or whatever scams you have had, even if it is dirty money, you would think that you would invest it in your business, right? Because when the Fed comes, they want to know, how are you able to ride around in a Rolls Royce and then have a Bentley sitting in your garage, and then having $1.6 million house, and then you have plans to get $4 million house, and then all these people are talking about you owe them money, kind of stuff, right? They're gonna want answers, sir, right? And you're supposed to pour that into your front, so you can at least have the appearance of having a church. You don't have anything. You have 2 banners and a podium. He probably didn't even finish high school. He ain't saying nothing about no education. I would think if you're going to be my bishop, honey, you would at least have to begin to seminary or something. You should know the word. He's misquoting scriptures. And the thing that pisses me off about some of these preachers, it's the same stuff, man. Well, a man robbed God. I mean, goddamn. Out of all over 2,000 pages, they came up with the same tired scriptures they've been using for 100 years, child. The exact same. I mean, it doesn't even apply that it doesn't even imply that you are well versed in scripture, right? You're just taking out key things you can use And then when they ask you a question, you tell us about the prodigal son. Well, don't we already know about the prodigal son? Don't we already know about Job, right? So you guys just come in there and read a paragraph on Sunday, probably Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning. You go and read a paragraph or two, and you come in there and you're supposed to get all this money, all these riches. But that is your fantasy, sir. You're not a bishop. You're not a bishop. And they're even going to look at the guy who performed their ceremony and made him a bishop, right? Because they want to know, did this man give you anything of monetary value before you decided to make him a bishop? And did you also make his wife a bishop? Because in all of history, this is the first time that's happened. So what was your motivation to make this man a bishop when he has no congregation? Mm-hmm. No, he did said it was $1 million, not the media. He said it was $1 million. Lying ass. Might even make it $1 billion. No, I don't think he's above wearing all fake shit. I don't. A con man. Really, you're stupid to pay all that money for that junk, because I would want to change every once in a while, right? If you pay $100,000 and $200,000 for a goddamn necklace, you can't change that. That's permanent, honey. Right? But when it's junk, like you're probably wearing, go ahead, steal it. I'll buy me 4 more. I'll buy me a 6-pack. That was to becoming a bishop. He looked like he skipped the line. He skipped the line. Queensation? Queensation? He skipped the line. He got out of prison and immediately become a pastor of what? I don't know. And then he became a bishop with no church. People go say, well, you can't say it's not a church. He does perform a sermon and then he has followers. No. No. He keeps saying that he's taking pictures in front of my church. They came in my church. And he acts like he actually owns that building. He does not. Aren't you offended by that? You claiming you have a church, they rob your church, where a man robbed God and all this shit, and then they find out that, no, you just show up, you're there for 2 hours, and you're out by 1:30 in the afternoon. It's not a church, right? The people have done that, but there's so many churches in need of money right now. You could have done it in a real church, right? But you didn't care about that. You put it in an event center. All you needed was a backdrop. And you did a tacky job with your backdrop, and that's why it brought more heat on you, right? Because that's what you originally got pissed off about, people laughing at your church. They laughing at my church. They laughing at my church. What? Wait a minute. They laughing at what? The rental center? You're doing better just to admit what it was from the very beginning, sir. You ain't got no goddamn church. Stop fronting. Everything's a front. I don't believe you own that building, that brick building. You might have somehow tricked your way into some kind of contract or something with those people, but apparently you haven't paid them in 2 months. How in the hell you at the casino? You ain't paid them people their money. The people say they want you to pay them their money, or you're going to be evicted from this huge complex. How can people get evicted from huge complex? Have you been collecting rent from all those people? I got to figure out how to show pictures on my live streams, right? Because that complex is huge that he's claiming is his. Whitehead Estates, right? We got to know the story there. How in the hell are they going to put an eviction notice on a whole goddamn complex? And 400 some people have been paying you rent. What did you do with the rent? You all bought another car? And you people have got to take a look at his original crimes were about car. I think the first time he got charged was because he went and bought a motorcycle with someone else's identity. In other words, when the bill came, it was going to go to the people who he stole their identity, not to him. He didn't pay anything. So he was riding around in a new motorcycle that was free. Then he went and got a Lexus or one of them SUVs with somebody else's personality. And they call that grand larceny. And then you're doing the same thing now. If only you would have allowed God to really use you, to invade your life and change you, sir. Now you're gonna end up back in if you end up back in prison, you in your 40s, you come out of prison, now you're 50 years old, right? You done play with God and play with God and play with God. You have not educated yourself on anything. You're still a con man. See, we got to judge you by your fruit. He's a sociopath. He don't care. A sociopath does not have the ability to care, right? All he sees is that he's famous now. He said Larry Reed is clout chasing him. He said, see, Larry Reed is an internet star, right? The internet. He's made his fortune out of the internet, right? Not out of a church. But we certainly know who he is because the internet is a national thing, right? I'm sure there are people in New York City who know me. I got people right here that are from New York City who know who I am. But for a person to be in a small, tiny space in New York, in Brooklyn, the only people gonna know who he is are people in Brooklyn, right? He said he ran a campaign to be the borough president or something like that. That's what the mayor guy used to do. Those people may know who you are because you put your picture on post, up running for something. But the accusation is that you actually raised a lot of money for this campaign, but you didn't use the money on the campaign. You spent the money on yourself because you didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of actually winning this presidency thing. Now, when you're going around town calling people faggots and shit, right? You never the street nigga. But you found a way to get money. See, money is addictive. You get a little bit, you want a little bit more, right? And then you go crazy and you're so stupid that you thought you were supposed to hang all this shit on you and just start flossing. A sociopath and a con artist. No remorse for what he has done. He has not taken no responsibility whatever about his original crimes of stealing these people's identity. He said it's all a setup. They all look what they did. I was falsely accused. Sir, you protest too much. Nobody with a background like you have is innocent of everything, right? You don't say anything about the people actually getting ripped off. All you care about is how you got busted. I'll take myself as an example. So at least I understand it. When I would get busted selling drugs, right? I sold drugs because I was a drug addict. That's what drug addicts do. We sell drugs to each other, right? But whatever. When they came and got me, I could easily make the argument that somebody snitched. Somebody snitched, right? Somebody told on me. That's how they knew. How did they know? How did they find out? Oh, a phone call was made. I could say all that kind of shit, right? But that doesn't address the fact that I was selling drugs, right? Take responsibility for what you were doing. You are a criminal, and they caught you. I mean, how can you respect a person who won't even take responsibility for what they did? And they say that when she went before the judge, because I believe I saw it on Jives today when they played the court records or whatever, and they were saying that he could have got a better sentence. I forget what the sentence is. I don't know, 10, 20 years. If he showed some remorse. But oh no, he came in and talking about how they get the search warrants, how they get all this technicality kind of shit, never addressing the fact that you did the crime. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No, don't do it. And keep your eye on the sparrow. When the going gets narrow. He was falsely accused and served value. He got out on a technicality job, either about the arrest warrant or some kind of shit like that. Not because he was found innocent. So if you can't take the responsibility for that, sir, people are not going to take you seriously. I'm just telling you, Maybe you, in your mind, you feel like you are a bishop and you have all these followers and people respect you and all that. But if you're gonna sit up there and buy a million subscribers, child, and you can't even admit that you bought them, I mean, how easy is that to check? How easy is that for the New York Times to check? I mean, they have people who do this stuff, right? They may have a staff of 30 people on one story. But yeah, you keep throwing your ass out in front. You can't help yourself, sociopath. Mm-hmm. Good behavior. Shit. And good behavior ain't no good behavior, honey. You get halftime if you're serving for a nonviolent crime. He said he got out on a technicality. I don't know. I don't know what the original sentence was. Isn't it something like 11 to 20 some years or something like that? And he got out in 6 years. Well, if you got sentenced to 11 years and you got halftime, that's 6 years, right? So we don't know, since he lies so much. And if his clout is that valuable to him, then I guess he accomplished what he wanted. He went viral. It ain't always a good thing, baby. So I got to go over here and read this story, this New York Times, not because I'm gonna come and talk about this every day, but I definitely want to hear this story. The New York Times is known as one of the best papers in America. And I knew from the first time I talked about this, I said, you better hope that the New York Times doesn't get a hold of this story. Who is that? Thank you, Torre in New York City. I finally saw his wardrobe. Can you imagine all that money spent on Gucci and Louis Vuitton? Shame on him. That's his prayer closet. That's what he prays to, Torre. That tells us, man, that you don't take this shit seriously. In order for you to come on here and call you at your prayer closet, like you're spitting in God's face. This is my prayer closet. Here's what I'm praying to. So you're going to show us 100 pair of shoes. And you will show... and we want to see 200 suits. This is your prayer closet. No place to kneel. Where's your prayer rug at? Shouldn't you have a quiet place to pray? A personal place? Simple, a cross, focus on God, not focus on things. Idiot. That's so dumb to be walking around on that. I don't know if they're just showing that now or is it old, but I know this week, and I believe right after the service, right, he's supposed to be devastated over this robbery, right? They have a video circulating of him in a casino, and he has the same clothes he had on last Sunday. The last Sunday when he did the reenactment, the same clothes later on that day. So I mean, he went directly from the service to the casino with all the ballers, right? He walked in with the security because they were the ballers, right? These guys, nobody was as flashy as him. I guess he got to be the flashiest one in the bunch, right? But what was I going to say? I don't remember, child. I just know that is real. You really were in the casino. You really were smiling. You really were shaking hands. Yeah, bro, I'm famous. I'm famous. And they all looking at me. Look at me. Look at me. You know, all that. And while you're rolling them dice, just came out of church and you're the bishop. Now the parishioners can go to the casino after they get out of service, right? Maybe the pastor going to the casino, right? But a bishop, you're supposed to be flawless, without flaw. And he called himself a flawless man. He said he was flawless. Yeah, he was without sin. He said the homosexuals coming in church and change. They change. Which one of the 25 changed, sir? Which one? Some costume jewelry is expensive. Yeah, I saw they had them bishop rings. They range from $18.99 to $120 for the fake ones. Now I saw one earlier that you buy a real one is $7,000, right? Diamond encrusted, but they have the identical ring on there. So if they robbed them, we don't know. Still, it's going to come out though. When the New York Times gets on, it's coming out. These kids. And what is wrong with the police department? You have the car, the license plate number, You have pictures of the people, right? You have all this evidence. They didn't have gloves on. I paid attention to that, right? So that means they probably touched things in the church, all this evidence, and yet nobody's been caught, right? I thought you're supposed to catch these criminals in the first 48, honey. We've been sitting here waiting for y'all to perform for the last 10, 12 days. What's up with that? Since you are running for borough president, can we assume that you have connections in the police department? Because you always got your nose up their ass. Oh, the Brooklyn police department is wonderful. They're fabulous. You know, all this hyperbole. Then the next moment, you're saying they planted things on you, and they had illegal searches, and you just whine about how bad they did you, right? And then at the other side of your mouth, how wonderful they are. Oh, they're doing a fabulous job. How in the hell are they doing a fabulous job? They can't catch these silly ass kids. I mean, it ain't like these are master criminals or anything. Anyway, the robbers were probably his cousins. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Somebody he could trust. Or either he flew, might be some relatives he flew from out of town. They just did the robbery and then left town, right? There's all kind of possibilities. But if he ain't got but 2 pieces of jewelry worth anything, I don't know why the hell they want to rob that shit, child. Hopefully he ain't gonna try to file insurance for $1 million. That's all flossing. He can't help himself. He can't help himself. Anytime you got to put on all them labels just to go out the house, you want somebody to look at you, sir. Maybe they're just waiting. Oh, they're on that. You didn't embarrass the mayor too. They're on that. You got to go back to prison. They own that, baby. They only called Larry Reed. He played the damn tape. The only reason the FBI called him is because they wanted more information on this woman. Who is this woman who he got for 100 or he got for 90,000? And I think they mentioned somebody else got hit for 150,000. They want to know those people. They said, "Oh, this is another name we weren't aware of," right? Because there wasn't just that one woman. He does this as a vocation, steals people's money. And his big argument about the woman with $90,000, she ain't a part of my church. She ain't a part. Why she got? What difference does that make? You stole her money. We don't give a goddamn if she goes to your church. Your church. You don't have a church. You don't have you, sir. I'm getting so pissed off at this shit about you keep talking about your church, your church, your church. You don't have a church, sir. You're riding around a goddamn Rolls Royce, one of the most expensive ones they make, and you can't get them people into some kind of building, right? What, a Bentley wasn't enough? Anyway, I'm through with this mess. Who robbed a person in the middle of a service? He got when the cameras going streaming live stream, right? The robbers don't care about the streaming live stream. I can understand them not caring about the little camera, right? Because their face is covered up. But you don't want to be live stream all over the world doing a robbery, right? And they had no interest in the money at all. Well, I don't know how much money you get out of 25 people. Out of 25 people, maybe you get probably 5 of them gave you any money, child. So they said you can keep that $30, child. You building empires with 30 people. I would guess that all them labels is probably all fake. I think that when it's all said and done, because yeah, he's a scammer, and yeah, he ripped these people off, he did all this kind of stuff, but that kind of person, that they are not above wearing fake labels, fake jewelry, fake all that stuff. I mean, how often can you wear something that loud? And I'm still trying to figure out who would want some shit like that, Jerry. Big old letters all over your clothes. It's distracting. But there's no accounting for taste. That's for sure. His live stream was in Indonesia. Yes, it was, girl. When you buy all these subscribers, child, they all from all over the world. Huh? If you have 1.5 million people watching you, I think that somebody, New York City, the biggest city in the United States, somebody would have showed up for service. All smoke and mirrors. Well, he is certainly giving me some entertainment for this week. So bless God. Rolex start at 10,000, at least for ladies. Yes, no, he gets the ones that are diamond encrusted, right, all around. So that one is something like $70,000. But he said only 2 pieces were insured, right? More than likely, it's the wedding ring on her. And I assume he has at least one thing that's real. That ring is the exact same ring he got. I just saw for $18.99. Now they have another one that I guess is gold plated. They have some that are just painted. They're just gold color. Then they have some that are gold plated. That's $120, right? So him having another ring, if he just gonna buy a fake ring because he just have to have some flash on him, child, he could have just got that from Amazon. They deliver in one day. Amazon Prime. Anyway, people, thank y'all for coming in. Listen to me ramble. Right? He brought it out here, so let's all feed. Talk to y'all later. What else? No, something else was going on though. Miss Kaya done lost her mind. She's one of these people that have to go and just dog anybody else's success. So she's went after Beyonce. I mean, Kaya, you really look ridiculous going after Beyonce. But I have to say that I don't agree with Armand Wiggins comparing your pictures based on your color. I found that kind of offensive because he was saying that Armand Wiggins has been accused before of being a colorist, right? And he showed the light-skinned Beyonce and light-skinned T.S. Madison. And then he had, on the other side, he had Kaya. And he was saying, just look at the color. I'm paraphrasing. Look at the color. Like the light skin was obviously much better than her because of her dark skin. There are so many things to say about Kaya in that mouth of hers, but I don't know that she's any less attractive because of what color she is, right? You know, he's called people monkeys before, and we all slip up, you know, talking too fast and kind of thing, but I don't think that her color makes her a roach. He was calling her and people like her roaches, while these other people who are, he showed lighter skinned people, are better based on their skin color. If they're better, they're more successful because they're not stupid like the other, but that was colorist. And the irony of that is, damn, why am I drank a Red Bull today. Well, I can't put my words together. The irony is Armand Wiggins is darker than Kaya. And all these people who he's calling apes. Anyway, I ain't going to get into it. Thank y'all for coming in. Later.